Knowing students' real need for the toilet is never a true science for any teacher, and when schools have a no toilet policy during lessons, it makes it a challenge for teachers. Teachers therefore develop approaches to deal with the inevitable requests. It was the period or session immediately after the morning break. There was a slow and steady arrival of students to the class. The teacher went through the start of lesson routines and then facilitated the learning hook activity with the class. By this time, Colin had already been warned for his behavior of choice, and the teacher had set the class on their first period activity. It was only 10 minutes into the lesson, and Colin pulled out his bathroom pass. The teacher really could not tell if it was his effort to escape the activity or a genuine toilet need. She nodded in approval as he flashed the card and asked if he could go to the toilet. Later, Ellen saw a friend of hers walked down the corridor. She asked to go to the toilet. She was told she and the teacher will reassess her need for the toilet in 10 minutes. Ellen was not pleased. Colin had finally returned with a big grin on his face. Ellen thought it would be an appropriate time to ask to use the toilet again. The teacher refused, given it had only been 5 minutes. That's when Ellen decided she was going to do things her way. "I'm going to the toilet," she said. "Let's give ourselves the remaining 5 minutes before discussing again," the teacher replied, and carried on teaching. "I can't hold it any longer. Do you want me to wet myself?" Ellen retorted. She shoved the table forwards, slammed her book shut, and kicked her chair back. "I'm going to the toilet, and there's nothing you can do about it." She added a few choice words to her act and called the teacher a few selected names for refusing her permission. When she was content with blowing her steam, she walked out, slamming the door shut behind her. Feeling satisfied with herself, she headed down the corridor where her friend was waiting for her. The teacher walked back to the front of the room with eyes fixated on her. She reassured the class that the behavior was unacceptable, but they were not going to lose any more learning time focusing on rewarding poor behavior. She thanked them for their patience and exceptional conduct, given the situation, and assured them that Ellen's behavior will be addressed. The teacher reported Ellen's walking out so the relevant personnel may attempt to resolve her truancy, and she reconvened the learning. Later, the teacher wrote a full account of the incident. It transpired that Ellen was picked up and placed in isolation for the remainder of the day. She was instructed to write a letter of apology and had an extended school day to complete her missed learning. It turned out her desire to leave had no connection to the call of nature. Rather, she wanted to go out to see her friend about something that transpired over break, for which they had a falling out. However, taking her frustration out on her teacher was hardly fair.